and gentlemen, Suzanne Youngkin. Wow, how much fun is this? All right. I can't thank you all enough for being out here, but I guess something special's going on.
Yes!
You can all feel it. It's happening right now, right here, across this great Commonwealth of Virginia. There is something amazing happening. And it's not something we see, it's not something we hear, it's something that we feel. And we know it's happening, and right here and now, Virginia is coming together and making a statement about the future of our Commonwealth. It is a defining moment. This defining moment is not just for everybody here, it's not just for our children and our grandchildren, but it is absolutely a defining moment on behalf of all of kids and grandkids across this country, because the nation is watching what's happening in Virginia right now. This defining moment is changing the trajectory of our Commonwealth. This defining moment is for, yes, everybody that's here, but it's also a defining moment for the values that we all hold, for the endless pursuit of a better life, the endless pursuit of prosperity, where all of a sudden the roadblocks have been put in our way by self-interested politicians who care about nothing more than their own careers rather than yours. This is the culture that Virginians are standing up and rejecting, a culture that encourages us to settle for mediocrity, to shelve our dreams, to say that low expectations are okay. We will not be a Commonwealth of low expectations. We will be a Commonwealth of high expectations. Friends, we find ourselves in this moment where we've been told that government should stand between a parent and your child. We have been told that government should force you to join a union. We've been told that your employer should fire you if you don't get a vaccine, and you should not get unemployment. We have been told that your taxes will go up without you having a say, and we are all saying, not here, not anymore, not now. This is not a campaign, this is a movement.
Yes.
It is a movement being led by parents all over Virginia, by families, by Virginians. It's not Republicans against Democrats anymore, it's Virginians standing up. And on this ballot, on one side is Terry McAuliffe, and on the other side is Virginia. On the other side is Virginia. I can't tell you how proud I am, how humbled I am to be standing before you, representing Virginia. I mean, this is our future. Friends, this is our moment to stand up and declare what we know is right, that parents have a fundamental right to make decisions with regards to their children's education. This is our moment to stand up and say that there should absolutely be a Virginia promise, a promise that we can have a pursuit of happiness, a pursuit of a better life that is unencumbered by big government telling us what to do all the time. A Virginia promise for that reality that we know Virginia must be and will be, which is the best place to live and work and raise a family. And that Virginia promise is 3 days away. It is 3 days away. The key to this Virginia promise is we have to go get it. It's not given to us. We have to go get it. And so over the course of the next 3 days, we have to do the work. And the work is we must get out and vote. We must get out and vote. This is ours for the taking, but we have to do it. We have to do it, friends. This is the spirit in the air of Washington and Jefferson and Madison and Monroe and Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry stood up and he said, we will not ratify that Constitution of the United States of America without a Bill of Rights. A Bill of Rights to protect our individual freedoms, our individual liberties from big government, Friends, does this sound familiar to you? This is what we're standing for, a moment where on one side we've got Terry McAuliffe, who, yes, wants to put government between you and your children, wants to force you to join the union. I mean, we have got big government on one side, and let me tell you, on the other side, we believe strongly that in small government and low taxes and a strong defense and free enterprise and putting faith into our country, that all of a sudden we find ourselves in a better Virginia. This is what it's about. So we stand here today united as Virginians. We stand here today with a collective vision that it can be so much better. And this is what's going to happen over the course of the next few days, is we are going to make it happen. I have modest ambitions. We're going to sweep our statewide races. And I can't tell you how proud I am to be campaigning with our next lieutenant governor, Winsome Sears. Oh, Jason's here, and I can't tell you how proud I am to be campaigning with our next Attorney General, Jason Miyares. Jason. Friends, and we are going to take back our House of Delegates in a sweep across this great Commonwealth. Friends, we have great delegate candidates running, but there's more. We're going to win local offices all over Virginia, Board of Supervisors, city councils, treasurer races, sheriff races, school board races. School boards matter. School boards matter. Most important elected job in Virginia today. And we have got to get our school boards back. Friends, this is the moment. It's going to sweep across this great Commonwealth, and we're going to make a statement for our country that will be a shockwave. A shockwave that says, Virginians are standing up for all of America, for the values that we all hold true, and we are absolutely rejecting this left liberal progressive agenda that's trying to turn us into California East. We are saying no. No. This is where we are. And now, friends, here we head into Tuesday. And as we head into Tuesday, we know we have work to do. The work we are going to do is not because we're sitting on the sidelines. The work's going to be done because we know we have to be in the arena. Our democracy is not a spectator sport. It is a participatory democracy. It requires all of us to get off our rears and get moving. And so over the course of the next few days, find your way to help. Find your way to volunteer. Find your way to get 10 friends out. Find your way to do something to contribute to this great movement, because this is going to be a movement we will all remember as having changed the future of the Commonwealth and the future of the country. Friends, polls don't win elections, but boy, the polls look really good. Votes win election. Votes wins election. Now listen, I get asked almost every day, Glenn, first of all, I get asked, Glenn, are you sleeping? And I always ask, so thanks for worrying about my health. I'm sleeping great. I'm sleeping like a baby. I wake up every 20 minutes screaming. What am I worried about? I'm worried about the future of the Commonwealth. I'm worried about the future of our children. I'm worried about our ability to have a growing economy, to have safe neighborhoods. And so on that first day, a lot's going to happen. Let me just take you on a journey, because I get asked all the time, Glenn, what's happening on day one? And let me tell you what's going to happen on day one. On day one, Winsome Sears and Jason Miyares and I are going to stand under Mr. Jefferson's portico. And we're going to put our hand on a Bible, and we're going to swear to God Almighty that we're going to protect and defend the Constitution of this United States of America and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And that is going to be such a privilege. And then we're going to walk down those stairs. We're going to stop for a minute, and Paige is going to be with Jason, and Terrence is going to be with Winsome, and Suzanne's going to be with me. And we're going to invite everybody else who wants to join us. I don't know where you are in your prayer life, but we're going to stop, and we're going to say a prayer of thanks. We're going to stop and thank the Lord for watching over us, for providing for us, for protecting us, for giving us a path that we can walk and allowing us to walk it with His will, not ours. And then we're going to thank Him to watch over us going forward, give us the strength to do the things we need to do, guide our thoughts, guide our steps. We're going to say amen, and then we're going to work to get Virginia moving. And on that first day, we are going to reduce the cost of living in Virginia by cutting everybody's taxes. It is too expensive to live here. all know it. Our cost of living has gone through the roof. We have more people moving away than moving here. Biggest group moving away are 26 to 35-year-olds. There goes our future down to Tennessee or North Carolina or Florida or someplace else. I want to keep everybody here. And oh, by the way, this liberal leadership in Richmond over the last year, they overtaxed us by $2.6 billion, and they're doing it again now. That's your money, not Terry McAuliffe's. It's your money. I know that. You know that. So on day one, we are going to declare the largest tax rebate in the history of Virginia. On day one. And then we're going to eliminate the grocery tax. We're going to suspend the most recent increase in the gas tax. Gas prices are already too high. We're going to double everybody's standard deduction, and we're going to work for our veterans. Yes. We all know freedom is not free. And we are so blessed that 1 in 11 Virginians is a veteran who fought for our country and defended our freedom. Went out and actually protected us, and yet back in Virginia we've forgotten how to say thank you. We're only one out of a handful of states that taxes their retirement. So we're going to get started and build up to $40,000 where our veterans are not going to have to pay taxes on $40,000 of retirement, because we want you to stay here. We want you to stay here. All in, it totals to $1,400, almost $1,500 in year one of savings for Virginians. My opponent, he's got hundreds of pages of policy. It's going to cost Virginians $16 billion, a $5,400 tax increase per family in Virginia. Friends, let me tell you, he thinks it's his money. I know it's your money. We're going to get our cost of living down. On day one, we're going to work to reestablish expectations of excellence in our schools. When my opponent was governor, 88 schools failed to reach their accreditation. And rather than do the hard work and fix the schools, what does he do? He just lowers the standards and they all pass through. Friends, Virginia today, we have the lowest standards in the nation for our children. We're ranked 50th when it comes to math and English in order to pass through in 8th grade. It's Terry McAuliffe's legacy. He's left us with an education philosophy that's called "Let's leave every child behind." We just can't have it. The test scores have been unbelievably low. It's shocking. What came out of this past spring is that 55% of white children can't pass an 8th grade math equivalency test. 70% of Latino children, over 80% of black children can't pass the 8th grade math equivalency test. The gap in the numbers is wholly unacceptable. Wholly unacceptable. But the order of magnitude of these numbers is shocking, and this is what Terry McAuliffe has left us. So on day one, we're going to work for our kids. Number one, we're going to declare that our schools are open 5 days a week, never been closed again. Never. Cannot afford it. Second of all, we're raising expectations in our schools, and then we're going to fund in the largest education budget in the history of Virginia. We're going to raise teacher salaries. We're going to fund into facilities. We're going to fund into special education, because Virginia's kids with disabilities have suffered mightily during this pandemic. And then we're going to press forward with the most aggressive charter school program that Virginia has ever seen. We will have choice within our public school system. You know this. Thank you. Virginia has 8 charter schools. Maryland has 140. North Carolina has 190 charter schools. We have 8. The teachers' unions have been shutting them down for years. We're going to go to work on day one and launch 20 innovation charter schools. It's a down payment. We're closing that gap so fast it'll make your head spin. We will have choice within our public school system. But we know it all starts with curriculum. That's where it starts. And so let me be really clear. And particularly here in Fairfax County, let me be doubly clear. We will teach accelerated math in our schools. We will award advanced diplomas. We will teach all history, the good and the bad, all of it. America's the greatest country on the planet. We have an amazing history. We also have some terrible dark chapters. We must teach them all, because if we don't know where we've come from, we won't know where we're going. But one of the things we will not do is teach our children to view everything through a lens of race.
Yes.
We know it's not right.
No.
It's time for us to come together and actually see what binds us, not what divides us. It flies directly in the face of what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was imploring us to be better than ourselves, to judge one another based on the content of our character and not the color of our skin. Folks, we know it's wrong, and so on day one, I will ban critical race theory from being in our schools. Friends, on day one, we're going to work for law enforcement. They have our back. We're going to have theirs. Virginia's at a 20-year high in murder rate. 4 of our great cities rank in the top 65 deadliest cities in America, with Richmond at number 11, Racing to number 1, Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News. Friends, crime is on the rise. We're going to have the best top cop in America, and Jason Miyares. That's what we're going to have. And my opponent doesn't care. When he was governor, the murder rate went up 43%. The rape rate went up every year. He would not even meet with the Police Benevolent Association, which represents 7,000 of our heroes that go to work every day wearing a bulletproof vest. That's why 50 sheriffs have endorsed us. 4 have switched parties. We've been endorsed by the Fraternal Order Police, the Police Benevolent Association. They trust us to get the job done. On day one, we're going to comprehensively fund law enforcement, higher salaries, better equipment. We're going to fund training. We're going to have community programs that law enforcement and communities work together to rebuild trust. We are, in fact, going to protect qualified immunity. We're going to fund into our mental health system, which has been broken for 8 years, capacity and professionals. And finally, on day one, we're firing the entire parole board, and we're starting all over again. On day one, we're going to get this Virginia economy moving. It's stalled out, and we all know it. Over the last 8 years, the states around us have lapped us. Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Maryland. They've grown 70% faster over 8 years, every year. North Carolina generated 8 times the jobs that Virginia has. Tennessee, 6 times. I mean, Ford Motor Company just announced last month 4 giant plants, 11,000 jobs. 2 went to Kentucky, 1 to Tennessee, 1 to Georgia, none in Virginia. I am so tired of Virginia losing out, especially to Maryland. So we're going to get moving. So on day one, we're going to declare Virginia open for business. No lockdowns, no shutdowns. We're moving forward. We are going to protect our right to work status. My opponent stared at a camera and he said, we will absolutely sign a bill to get rid of right to work when it comes to his desk, and then the union money piled in. He is bought and paid for by the unions. I am not. I'm going to do the right thing and protect our right to work status in Virginia. But we got to get growing. And let me tell you, my opponent announced all of these economic development deals. 32 out of 79 created 0 jobs. He announced 14,000 jobs when he was governor. 7,000 showed up. Let me tell you, in the world I came from, that is a failing performance. You don't even get to keep your job, not less go get rehired again. Friends, we have got to get this economy going. So on day one, we're going to cut 25% of job-killing regulations. The Code of Virginia is 37,000 pages long. Try to print that out on your home computer. We're going to have a go at that. We're going to have a 12-month tax holiday for small business, so the small business can keep your profits and grow and hire people. And friends, on day one, we're getting Virginians back to work. We're going to train folks to take these growing jobs. You got to either be college ready or career ready. A growing economy will absolutely demand so many more great trained Virginians than what we've currently got. And finally, we have got to get Virginians back starting businesses again. We're ranked 49th in the nation as best place to start a business. Wow. Only Connecticut is worse. I've been to Connecticut. We do not want to be Connecticut. Friends, so we have to have accelerators and incubators and capital formed and cut the paperwork to start a business so that we, in fact, can have a vibrant community of business growers. Our plan, and by the way, let me be clear, governors do not create jobs. Business people do. That's who creates jobs. We, in fact, recognize that we have to partner together, and so our plan generates 400,000 new jobs over 4 years, fosters 10,000 startups. Friends, we are going to get this great Virginia economy moving again. It's going to lift up everybody. And I want every single 26 to 35-year-old to stay here.
Yeah.
And finally, friends, on day one, it's going to be a busy day. There's a day 2 and day 3 coming. But on that day 1, we are going to make Virginia's government work for us and stop telling us what to do all the time. It starts with our constitutional rights. We know they've been trampled on. Our First Amendment rights, our Second Amendment rights, our 10th Amendment rights. I mean, when we sit there and watch this governor open up ABC stores and keep my church closed, we watch the FBI walk in and try to silence parents exercising their not only First Amendment right, but their fundamental Virginia right to make decisions with regards to their child's education. We are going to stand up for our rights, friends. But let me tell you, I have a pet peeve. I can't stand waste. I cannot stand inefficiency, and here I am going into government. So on day 1, we're going to launch a statewide audit of every single department to root out waste, to root out inefficiency, increase transparency. And you know where we're starting the first 2? The Virginia Employment Commission and the Department of Motor Vehicles. That's where we're starting. And here's how you're going to know we're making progress. You're going to call into the DMV and 2 things are going to happen. Number 1, somebody is going to answer the phone. And number 2, they're going to say, hello, how may I help you? This is what you're going to see from a government that works for the people, a government that's by the people, a government that's of the people, as opposed to a government that tells us what to do all the time. Friends, this is our moment right now. Here we are. Here we are. Tuesday is right around the corner. You can still vote today if you have, I think, 7 minutes. We got to get the vote out. So I'm asking you to do 5 things. 1, get out the vote on Tuesday. We got to show up. If you have already voted, go find 10 friends and drive them to the polls. We got to get the vote out. Second of all, put a red sign in your yard.
Got it.
Put a sign. This is a permission slip for everybody that goes by your house to say, I'll vote for him too. This morning, I went into Old Town Alexandria this morning. I thought there'd be 25 or 50 people. We fell out into the street, close to the intersection. It was just jammed. There were red signs everywhere. Everywhere. Third thing we need is we still need volunteers. We need volunteers on election day. Please come sign up at Fairfax County GOP and volunteer. We need you to be poll watchers. We need you to actually hand out sample ballots, greet people. You guys, this is not a spectator sport. We got to get in the arena. Make 2 hours. Don't think about it. Get it done and volunteer for us. Fourth, we need you to be our ambassadors. Winsome and Jason and I, we've been interviewing for this job with 8.5 million Virginians. We haven't met them all yet. We want you to hire us to go work for you. This is what we want to happen. But you guys have a much better network than we do. Call your friends, send out emails, get people out. You know what we're going to do. We're going to lower taxes, the best jobs, the best schools, the safe communities. We're going to make our government work for us. This is what it's about. And finally, and I don't want to presuppose where anybody is in their own faith walk, but if you have a prayer list, put us on it. Now's the time. Now is the time. So friends, let me tell you one, I want to end where I started. Thank you for being here. One of the things I'd love for you to do is sign the bus. It's a cool bus. We've had thousands and thousands and thousands of Virginians sign that bus. We've got scripture and veterans encouragement and little kids with their handprints, and it's unbelievable. Everywhere we go, thousands of Virginians go with us. You're all with us when you sign that bus. This is not a campaign for Glenn Youngkin. It is a campaign for all of you on behalf of Virginians, and I need you to go with me. And finally, I got to tell you, and I know I speak for Jason and Winsome, on that day, January 15th, on that day, I'm going to be overwhelmed with a sense of pride, a sense of purpose, a sense of real, just basic honor. Honor to go work for all of you as the 74th governor of this great Commonwealth of Virginia. God bless you all. Let's go get this done.